Well, hi all, welcome to the shed. Hey, this is my 2002 Magna Commonwealth Games limited edition, and today I'm going to do a oil change on it, so I thought I'd just involve you in that a little bit, and you can see a few things that I do. We'll get started with that, hey. So basically what you're going to need for your oil change, you're going to need some oil. So I use Penrite there, semi-synthetic, and it's 10W40. The engines on this car's done 280,000 kilometres, and that oil is still good for this car. When I last serviced, I went through probably, I don't know, about half a litre, and that's mostly since I've changed this to a manual. With an auto, it was using virtually no oil at all. Obviously with the manual, I'm using a lot more compression, and so therefore passing a bit of oil. Okay, so I'm going to need that. You're going to need your oil filter. So I've got a Repco one there, Repco, Ryco, all quite good. Okay, make sure you get yourself a quality one. You're going to need, most likely you're going to need a oil filter spanner. You're going to need a socket. That's a 24mm on that. It's a little bit sloppy on the sump plug, but it works fine. And you're going to need something to catch your oil in. And if you're like me, you're going to need probably a bit of rag, because you're going to make a mess, and you're going to need a funnel for refilling your oil. And you can see there, I've spared no expense on my funnel today. Okay, and if you think I'm being cheap, well, that's just 10 cents I could have got back from the bottle recycling centre these days. So we'll get started with it, hey. Now, I always, as a matter of just way of working for me, I take the oil filler cap off straight away, and just as a tip, I put that in the bonnet latch there. That way, when I go to shut the bonnet, I can remember that either A, I haven't put it back on properly, or B, I haven't even put the oil in, which would be quite devastating, hey. Okay, so we'll get started. I'm going to put the camera underneath the car, and we're going to start draining some oil. Okay, so under the car here, there's your engine sump, and on the back of the sump is your oil filler plug. Okay, I've got the car up on ramps. One, when this car is on the ground, it's just over legal height off the ground. There's no way you're going to get under with a bucket or your head or anything else like that. At standard height, I used to drive it up on a couple of wooden blocks, and that was probably enough. You could go over a gutter or something like that. I try to get up in the air so that the sump's on a bit of an angle. That way I got more of a chance of getting as much possible oil out as possible. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can do this one hand on the camera and one hand on the socket. That always guarantees me making some form of mess. Okay, there we go. I don't do mine up super tight, I do them up firm, so they can come off reasonably easy without trying to break threads or anything like that. Okay, now you will tend to want to shoot backwards as it comes out. I've got the engine still warm, so that oil should flow rather freely. There we go. Today I got it all in the bucket, so that's good. Okay, I'm going to let that drain, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've let that drain mostly. You can see there's just a little trickle coming out of it now. So I'm going to put the sump plug back in, and that's pretty much done. Don't forget to put the sump plug back in. Righto, so of course tighten that by finger tight, and then I'll get the spanner and put it on. Just wipe my hand on the rag there. Okay, or socket, and then put it back on. So just going to tighten that back up. Once again, you don't want to get crazy on it, but you do want it to be up nice and tight enough. You don't want it to come undone, but there's no reason to reef like crazy on it. There we go. Okay, so that's back on. So the next thing to do is to get the oil filter off, and the oil filter is one of the most, in these cars, I think, one of the most well thought out. I'll see if I can get my light over there a bit more. One of the most well thought out, easiest things to get to on any car that I've realistically done an oil change on, and I've owned quite a few different cars, and that one's quite easy. It's right there, easy to get to. Now it is upwards, which means it'll catch most of the oil, but put your oil bucket underneath anyway, just to be sure that you don't get any drips over the garage floor. Okay, so you might be able to do this by hand. I've got one of these little ratchets, and as you turn it, it tightens up on the filter, so we'll just do that. There we go. Now I did notice that I had a bit of a leak on this oil filter this time, so maybe I didn't have it up quite tight enough, so next time I'll make sure that I have. It is spilling a little bit of oil there, like I say, make sure it's over your bucket. Oh, all over my hand. Okay, and that's it. Now, on the, oh, yeah, so I made a mess there. On the new oil filter, you'll notice that there's a seal on there. I'll just get the plastic cover off mine. Okay. You'll notice that there's a rubber seal on there. You want to check up on the flange where your oil filter comes off that the seal's not on there already, because it can sometimes stick there. And if you happen to put two seals there, well, one or both will pop out and you'll pump your oil out all over the ground. Which will be quite devastating for your engine, and you'll lose your oil pressure quite quickly, so that won't be too good. You'll destroy the engine. Alright, so since these oil filters do hang upside down, you can easily give them a little bit of a pre-fill. They'll just take a little bit of oil, and that way when you start your engine up, you'll already have some oil in the filter there, so you'll gain your oil pressure rather quickly. And you do want to also just put a little bit of oil on that seal there. So make sure the seal's on good. Put a little bit of oil on the top seal of the filter. Okay, on the rubber seal, and that'll help it spin on well, and you know just seat really well. So new filter on. Okay. And I'm going to get my hands a bit slippery, so I'm going to give it a tension up by hand. And as I say, it did leak. There was a bit of oil leaked on it, so I'm just going to give it a tension up by hand this time. So it's just a little bit tighter than hand tight, so that way it'll... Okay, you don't want that super tight because you don't want to mess that seal that's there up. And so that's about it. I haven't done that up really tight, but it's a bit over hand tight. There is instructions on the box on how to do it. It's like half a turn or something like that after it makes contact. And that's probably what I've done there. Okay, so that's the oil filter in. It's dead easy. One of the easiest ones I've done. Okay, so now I just need to fill the oil up. I'm not sure exactly how much these Eagles take. Of course, it'll be at least 4 litres. So I was going to top my oil up and check it as I go, basically. So you can see my great funnel there flows rather freely. Tip the bottle over on the side or upside down if you can. It'll flow out without glugging a lot simpler. If you try to, put it this way over, you're going to go glug glug and it's going to be painful to pour. So this way it pours nice and freely and easily. Of course, make sure once again that you do have the sump plug in, your filter on, before you go filling your oil up. You might make a mess. So this is a 6 litre bottle. Oh, it's a 5 litre bottle. Got about 3 litres in. So I'm going to put 4 litres in and then I'll check it. It is on the stand, so I will need to check it. It's on flat ground as well. But if I put about 4 litres in now, we'll be pretty sure to have enough oil. Well, we will have enough oil in it to start it and so on. Okay, so that's 4 litres, just about. Just going to check it on the dipstick. Let's wipe it. Put it back in. So that's about halfway up from full to empty. It is on the back angle, so it's going to come a little bit from that. Okay, let's wipe off some spots I spilt. Put a little bit more in. Got to be careful, I do have a tendency on these cars to overfill the oil. It takes me a while to burn that up. Okay, so there we go. So I do my oil change every 10,000. Every 10,000 kilometres. I don't leave it any longer than that. Like the specified service in the manual says 15, but I do it every 10. And I think that's about where you should be doing it, because I noticed that, well, this car in particular, after about 8,000, 9,000 k, it tends to use a little bit more oil faster, probably because the oil's starting to break down. Okay, oil filler cap is back on. So we're ready to start it up. I'm going to take it off the ramps and then I'm going to check the oil again to make sure it's all good. Okay. Okay, I thought I'd just bring you inside to show you here. there's your oil pressure light on the O2s over on the side there with the clock. So you should keep an eye on that when you start it up after an oil change. Just make sure it goes off nice and quick and easy. So here we go. And there you go, that's gone out off straight away. So that's really good. Okay, I'll back it down off the ramps. Alrighty, so I've just backed it off the ramps, and I'm just going to check, I believe that there, I'm just going to check the oil level. So wipe the dipstick clean so I get a proper reading. Wipe that clean first. Clean the splashes of oil that you made everywhere. Or better still, don't make them at all. Okay, checking that dipstick. So that's actually just below full at the moment. So I'm going to give that a little bit more oil. Okay. That's about where it was down to before I did the oil change. So that's about how much I'd used. Okay, so I'll top that up. As I say, I have a tendency to overfill these things, so let's see how we go with it. The oil galleries in these are rather large, so it runs back down to the engine actually quite quickly. Okay, and there we are, we're right on full, so that's great. Okay, so for an oil change for this car, I don't know, if you went to a lube place, what do they charge you these days? 120 bucks, you know, they might give you a 24-point safety check, but you know what, you can do that yourself as well if you look through your manual, see what you need to check from time to time. Now I buy my oil and it's on sale. I think the last one of oil I bought was about, for that there, was about 25 or 30 bucks for 5 litres. That's a semi-synthetic oil, good quality. Just use a good quality oil. And an oil filter from Repco the other day cost me $15, so that's a good quality one. Of course you could buy cheaper ones, but good quality is the way to go. So all over, that oil change costs around about, you know, at tops $45, and honestly I've just done it there in what, probably I've cut in and out of the video, probably about 20 minutes, and that's all it takes. It's really easy to do and save you some time and money. Okay, so great. If you like the video, you know, first time I ever said this, but yeah, you know, like, comment, subscribe to my channel as well. I've got some more Magnum ones coming. I do have a valve stem seal replacement job that I've done. I've recorded, I just got to edit, and a timing belt one as well. So yeah, you know, just do that for us, and we'll try and keep up with some videos for you. Okay, thank you. Bye. Have a good one. And just one more thing to tack on the end. Yeah, you know, it's always a good idea to keep your service record stickers there. I actually keep a logbook as well, separate for this car. And put your new sticker on, so when you need to do your next oil change, look at that, they're designed to go on the windscreen and advertise. But no, I'm going to put mine in my, keep mine in my door pillars from now on. So yeah, there you go. That way, you know when your next oil filter or whatever it is that you're doing is due. So there you go. Cheers.